Good morning. This is Robert Kaars Sijpesteijn bringing you this morning's market update. In the US, the banking sector led the rally on US indices, as the expected rate hikes should benefit the financial sector more than any. Goldman Sachs rose 3.2%, while JPMorgan, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, and BAML were each up more than 2.7%. The energy sector also helped raise indices, with Exxon and Chevron adding 4.4 and 3.8% respectively. The US 500 added 6 points to close on 2052 spot 23. The US Tech 100 gained 26 points to close on 4,607, and the Wall Street soared 147 points to close on 17,545. Today, the Federal Reserve's Open Market Committee announces its decision on interest rates. It has widely telegraphed that it will raise borrowing costs for the first time since 2006, after 7 years on hold. Janet, the Fed chair, has apparently overcome opposition from some more dovish members on the central bank's governing board, having in effect deferred a rate rise in the autumn in response to the international financial turmoil at the time. The calmer external environment has seemingly persuaded the Fed to hike. Turning to commodities, gold fell all of 30 cents to close on $1,060.7. Meanwhile, Brent crude clawed back at its current downward slide, adding 36 cents to close on $38.42 a barrel. Saudi Arabia took a controlling interest last year in South Korea's third largest refinery, which highlights the shifting dynamics of the oil business. With crude prices down by more than half in the past 2 years, the Saudis and other oil-rich countries are fighting to lock in customers. Asia, which now accounts for 70% of Saudi oil exports, is the primary battleground. For Saudi Aramco, as the company is widely known, that means purchasing stakes in refineries with contracts guaranteeing most of the oil will come from the kingdom. Aramco has invested in 3 processing facilities in Asia as Iran prepares to boost its own exports. The Saudis are on the cusp of a dramatic increase in its commitment to the region, eyeing billions of dollars of projects in countries from Indonesia to Vietnam. The Saudis pursued a similar path in the US 3 decades ago to lock in sales as crude oil prices tumbled, buying into 3 oil processing facilities in Texas and Louisiana since 1988. The strategy worked. Motiva Enterprises, the US refiner, half owned by Aramco, imported 65 million barrels of Saudi oil in the first 8 months of 2015, more than triple what ExxonMobil Corp got from the kingdom in that time. Looking to Europe, the Germany 30 added 141 points to close on 10,460, and the UK 100 added 59 points to close on 6,023.9. In the UK, supermarkets led the charge, with Sainsbury's leading the sector, adding 5.2%, while Tesco and Morrison's rose 4.4% and 4.9% respectively. When the United States Federal Reserve finally raises its benchmark interest rate after 7 long years at 0, no central bank will be watching what happens more carefully than the Bank of England. After all, the cyclical similarities between the UK and US mean markets will be looking to BOE as the next central bank in line to hike. Both economies are currently enjoying trend growth and low unemployment, and even though US and UK inflation is little above 0, the expectation that it will stage a hard and fast recovery in 2016 as the effects of strong currency and cheap oil diminish are similarly strong. Still, the dovish MPC will want to wait a while for the dust to settle before following suit. As Governor Carney likes to remind us, the Bank of England is not following the Fed. In today's corporate news, Rolls Royce has announced that 2 of its top bosses, Tony Wood and Laurie Hayes, are leaving the company as part of a manager restructure. Dixons had a strong half year to 31st of October, with pre-tax profit up 23%. Bunzl's third quarter trading was in line with expectations. It expects revenue for the full year to be up 5%, and SuperGroup reported a 22.3% rise in revenue in its half-year results. Today's economic data in focus: at 9:30 a.m. UK average earnings are released. At 10 a.m. Eurozone trade balance will be released. At 12 p.m. the US mortgage applications is released, and at 7 p.m. the US Fed interest rate decision will be released. That's all for this morning's market update. Thank you and goodbye.